Mr. Elon has entered chat. Oh shoot. Oh, okay. That is a first. Hey guys, come experience the future with me. Today I'm going to be showing you the hole punch display, and this is the first one ever from Samsung, the precursor to the Galaxy S10. This is eventually what's going to replace the notch and all of the weird mechanisms they're coming up with, I think, to replace it. So we're going to be taking a look at that, but more than just the hole punch display, there's a couple things about this phone that I'm very curious about. Also, the durability. Does a hole punch display mean a less durable display? That's what I want to see, so yes, I will be subjecting it to a durability test. But let's take a look inside. And this is only available in Chinese markets, South Korea, I think Japan. So it's not something you're gonna get here in America. And I'm honestly a little surprised that Samsung released this before the Galaxy S10, which is supposed to be getting the same technology. So this set me back $850. Today I go and look online and it's around $450 to $500. So I overpaid, doesn't matter, I'm just curious. This is literally what the S10 is going to be like, aside from some of the other specs, maybe a little less bezel towards the bottom. The Galaxy A8s, this is a budget end model. It retails for about $450, and here it is. Oof. Okay, and here on the back, I love the gradient. I think that Apple should definitely do something with this gradients. I've been seeing so many great designs from many manufacturers, namely OnePlus, that have been experimenting with the gradients. Looks fantastic. Huawei too. So there's that flash. It's not True Tone, it's one set color. And is that a secondary flash? So interesting. And actually, I'm an idiot. So that is not a flash. It's literally just a gold ring for aesthetics around the camera. For some reason, I was so convinced that was a ring flash. There is a flash right here, which is used. It's quite weak. I don't like it at all, but we did test it out. And that is what activates at all points of zoom. So that is just an aesthetic design choice. It is not a ring flash. Apple will still be unique to that in a modern smartphone. I haven't seen that feature in practically any other smartphones. And I was dying to see how that would affect the photos. But hopefully Apple has that on lockdown and their design is the real deal and it works well. We'll try that out here. It's got the fingerprint sensor. So on the S10, of course, its entire trick is going to be that the fingerprint sensor is embedded in the display, not on the back. Altogether though, a very slick looking phone, very reminiscent of the Galaxy S9 with the speaker grills, just maybe a slightly updated design. This has the Snapdragon 700 series processor in it, so middle tier phone. Let's turn it on and try out that display. So from what I've seen online, there's actually custom animations that kind of go around the camera. They make it a fun little experience. That it's the future, but at the same time, we're gonna have some fun with it. And I hope I can reproduce some of that for you guys. There really is no benefit to this display up around the camera, I think. It's just a showpiece, but it's so great to take that attention away from the center. And even though it's asymmetrical, I kind of do like it. Like I like the idea of not having something directly there. It's not as slick as I thought it would look because up here there's still pretty thick bezel. I would say it definitely looks way more slick than the iPhone. But first off, let me set this bad boy up. Well, here it is all set up, and just going through the setup menu, I gotta say I've gotten used to this already. Like, it's not something you really look at. Once you get over the shock that there is a camera in the middle of your display, it's off to the side and you go about your business as usual. So realistically, it does make a really big difference, I think. And I think that's especially going to be apparent when you're browsing the internet, going through a long feed, so you just get a little bit more info up top there, and video. So video could look a little bit nicer too. All right, but look at that, there is the video difference. So even though you have less interference here with the notch, they still don't overlay the video over that camera. So it's still a little bit less than the XS Max would be. This will be pretty similar to the Galaxy S10 size. You'll still get a little bit more real estate on the iPhone, notch and all, even though it covers some of your content. They definitely wanted to play it safe to where it doesn't cover up the camera. So interesting. But the view for the video, that's what it looks like. There's that. So I gotta say, I like it a lot. I just wanna see the custom notifications that kind of go around that thing. All right, so for the most part, I do like it after playing around with it. I wasn't able to get any custom animations, but as you can see, the status bar is built around it. The notifications just go through it. There's no software integration that I'm seeing that takes advantage or really like brings any attention to that. And I guess that's what Samsung's trying to do, is trying to take away as much attention from that as possible by not embracing it. Which honestly, I think that's what Apple and any company that adds a notch needs to do. Just make some cool animations that go around it. Have fun with the notch, have fun with the camera. I think it'd be a really neat little feature. You know, you can't get rid of it, might as well make the best of it. Gives you a nice idea of what the Galaxy S10 will be like, and I gotta say, it's nothing special. Like, it's here, and you don't have anything in the way there, but the only advantage is like your status bar is fuller now, you can see more info on it. Otherwise, I don't know, I'm not that impressed, really. I guess I'm spoiled by displays nowadays, but we'll see. We'll see what the Galaxy S10 brings to the table. Maybe it'll have some sort of custom software regarding that. I just expected them to embrace it a little bit more with this being an all-new Infinity O display and all. All right, so we're in the garage. I've zoomed in 8 times on both. And honestly, yeah, on the left it's a little bit clearer, but both are pretty terrible here. So using the flash, let's go ahead and take a picture here, see what those look like. Let's zoom out to 5 times. The A8s camera quality doesn't seem that great. It looks like the iPhone definitely has the upper hand here on the flash power and output. And something I noticed, if you actually take a look around the camera, there's like a white ghost ring around it. It seems that the quality of the display right around that camera is diminished. And that's something I've heard of already on several models of smartphones, is because of that pinhole, they're not being made correctly, and you can kind of see some sort of banding on the display around it. Not a good look, definitely, especially when this is supposed to be a Halo phone. Well, not this one, but I hope the Galaxy doesn't have that issue here. All right, Galaxy, you have met your match. Mr. Elon has entered chat. This is for the after. Okay, so I gotta say I'm extremely disappointed with this phone so far. It's just a gimmick. They literally did nothing with the software to make this any more special. It's so pointless. And with the chin down here, you know, are you really saving that much screen estate by moving that over? It really is a gimmick. And $450, there's no way this phone is worth that much money. To me, I think I would pay max like $300, $350 for this phone. No way. So like I said earlier, I wanted to see if we do drop our phone towards the top of the phone here, will it break? Does it have a higher propensity for breaking? Okay, I actually wanted to get a measuring tape here for 2 feet. But here we go. All right, in 3, 2, 1. And nothing. Let's see how many times it can take that fall. Let's actually put it on the corner this time. 3, 2, 1. Nothing, surprisingly. Okay. And a third one. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. Let's try a side impact now. 3, 2, 1. Nothing. I'm a little shocked. Wow. Maybe actually one more and then we'll go to 3 feet. 1, 2, 3. Nothing yet. Okay, well, that's not really doing much. Couple dents, but let's take it to the waist height. Same deal. 3, 2, 1. And nothing. That's some durable stuff. And I'm not sure if this is Gorilla Glass 4 or 5, but it's a cheaper end Samsung, so they wouldn't put anything big on it. 2, 1. Wow, still nothing. Okay, one more. 3, a little bit higher up. 3, 2, 1. Man, I don't know what this thing is made out of, but the frame is actually bending. Still nothing. So I would say there's no difference that I'm seeing yet directly in durability, and I've dropped a lot of phones. Build-wise, I guess it's still pretty solid. 3, 2, 1. Wow, he just does not want to die. Okay, well, let's do a face down one. See if that changes anything. 3, 2, 1. Ah, wow, still nothing. I'm a little amazed. Well, anyways, next level. Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. That would be the screen protector. And whoa, that is a first. I've never seen something like that. That's just like extreme heat caused the liquid crystals to contract, or what went on here? That's interesting. First time I've ever seen something like that. Cool, and it is unharmed. So, wow, I gotta say the durability has exceeded my expectations. Pretty cool phone, and a sign of what's to come with the Galaxy S10 for sure, but I think I'm gonna stick with my notch. My notch and no bottom chin. I do prefer that a little bit more. We'll see the Galaxy S10 with its OLED display, if that manages to impress us, but yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool to see someone else trying something new, so I commend Samsung for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.